Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Science of Companionship. Today, we're diving into one of the most universal and most powerful forms of companionship we experience as humans: friendship. Friendship is so familiar, and yet it's deeply scientific. It's not just about liking the same music or laughing at the same jokes, it's about biology, psychology, and evolution working together to help us connect, survive, and thrive. Let's start with something fascinating. Humans are naturally drawn to people who are similar to themselves, a phenomenon called homophily. We tend to form friendships with those who share our interests, our values, and even, as the research now suggests, our genes. Studies have found that friends are more likely to have similar genotypes. In other words, we may literally be wired to befriend people who are biologically like us. And these connections can take many forms. Think about childhood or college buddies who stay close for decades, sharing memories that trace all the way back to playgrounds or dorm rooms. Or those work spouses, colleagues who share inside jokes, help each other through stressful days, and become emotional anchors from 9 to 5. There are mentors or mentees who bond beyond professional boundaries, forming relationships built on trust, admiration, and growth. Our neighbors who watch out for each other, share meals, and become like extended family. And, of course, travel companions, the ones who love exploring the world right by your side, creating unforgettable experiences along the way. Now, let's talk about what these relationships do for us. Platonic intimacy, that deep closeness without romance, gives us affection, touch, and emotional support without the complications of sex or romantic expectation. It's a kind of love that's steady and safe, a home base that's there year after year. And the science backs this up. Research shows that strong social bonds are linked to lower levels of depression, stress, and anxiety, and to better overall psychological well being. In contrast, about 1 in 3 adults today reports feeling lonely. Loneliness isn't just sad, it's dangerous. It increases the risk of heart disease, cognitive decline, and even premature death. But friendship acts as a powerful buffer, protecting both our mental and physical health. In fact, studies suggest that maintaining meaningful friendships can even protect against cognitive decline and reduce the risk of dementia or Alzheimer's disease. Staying socially active keeps our brains engaged, boosting memory, attention, and problem solving skills. In other words, friends literally help keep our minds sharp. So, what's happening inside our brains when we connect with someone? Let's talk chemistry. Several key neurochemicals and hormones are involved in friendship: oxytocin, endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, and the HPA axis, which regulates stress. Oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone, is famous for its role in childbirth and mother infant attachment. But it doesn't stop there. Oxytocin also strengthens social relationships outside of romantic or parental bonds. It helps us recognize individuals, form social memories, and even increases feelings of trust and generosity. When oxytocin levels rise, we become more open, cooperative, and empathetic. Perfect conditions for friendship. Then there are endorphins, the body's natural painkillers and mood boosters. These play a crucial role in the formation and maintenance of social bonds. When we laugh with friends, hug them, or share a meal, our brains release endorphins, creating a warm sense of comfort and belonging. And let's not forget dopamine, part of our brain's reward system. Every time we experience something rewarding, whether it's a delicious meal, a personal success, or a fun moment with friends, the brain releases dopamine. This reinforces our desire to seek those rewarding experiences again. So every time friendship feels good, your brain is saying, yes, do more of that. Interestingly, when people face stressful or threatening situations, Having a friend present can actually reduce the body's production of cortisol, the main stress hormone. We quite literally feel safer together than alone. From an evolutionary perspective, this makes perfect sense. Cooperation between non relatives, people who aren't family, is one of the cornerstones of human survival. Friends exchange support, protection, and resources, and this reciprocal cooperation strengthens social communities. Empathy and compassion are key to this process. Neuroscience shows that when we watch someone expressing emotion, say smiling or crying, similar brain regions activate in us as if we were feeling it ourselves. It's a kind of emotional mirroring. Researchers believe this shared activation helps us feel what others feel through a lesser degree. It's the neural foundation for empathy. And empathy, in turn, motivates compassion. Now, what about the brain structures behind all this? Friendship involves a surprisingly wide network. The ventromedial prefrontal cortex helps us evaluate social rewards and make emotional decisions. The nucleus accumbens and ventral striatum are parts of the brain's reward system. They light up when we experience pleasure, including the joy of seeing a friend. The amygdala plays a role in emotional arousal. For example, it becomes active when we look at pictures of people we care about. The hippocampus, crucial for memory, helps us store shared experiences and the emotional context of our relationships. Other regions contribute to empathy, perspective taking, and the sense of self within a social world. Together, these areas form the neural map of companionship, the system that allows us to feel rewarded by connection, to remember those who matter, and to seek their presence again and again. Friendship isn't a luxury, it's a biological necessity, a fundamental part of what makes us human. So, next time you share a laugh with a friend, listen to their problems, or simply sit in silence, remember your brain, your hormones, and your heart are all working in harmony to sustain one of the most powerful forces in life: companionship.